5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I wore a special hat today. I know you people like my hats, so I thought I would show you what I wear, what I wore into the office today, because it's 3 below zero. And do you think that's something? It's going to be 13 below zero later in the week, it seems. And my heater went out on Saturday night, which wasn't good. I called the 24-hour heater service, emergency heater service, and they said, well, what kind is it? I said, well, it's 33 years old or something. They said, well, we're not going to have any parts for that. We can't fix it. I said, well, could you bring over a new furnace or something? Some kind of space heater we can plug into the natural gas? No, we don't have that. Don't you have any space heaters? The coldest night of the winter so far. Apparently it's going to get colder. So what choice do you have? When you're in desperate need, you can take desperate measures. I started taking apart the furnace. And they're not as complicated as you might think. It's a lot like a gas grill. So anyway, I'm not even getting hearts on this. I hope you're laughing down there in Phoenix, Arizona, or whoever is watching. Anyway, so consequently, I got to wear this for a while so that YouTube makes this a thumbnail. So anyway, I got it working and I made it, and everything is toasty and everything is fine, and it's actually running better than it was. I'm still gonna have them come over. There go the hearts. I'm still gonna come over and have them come over and quote me on a new furnace. I hate to do it, but I'll tell them I want a spring special one though. I don't want today's price. I've got mine fixed. So anyway, let's dive in. Okay, first news story from Mary Hanbury, who I invited to connect. Dollar General has become one of the biggest retailers in the U.S. by store count. And they are going to open 2,000. They have opened 2,000 stores in the last year, and they're going to open 975 stores this year. One of the cool things about capitalism is when opportunity arises, money flows to it, and things change fast. So during the football game last night, and another thing that goes with Wisconsin besides cold weather is we beat number 2 Michigan. I was so happy. But another thing, I saw this beer commercial, and Budweiser is announcing that they're going to put the ingredients on the label, on the packaging of their beer, which Schlitz, back 40 years ago, was convinced that the federal government was going to legislate ingredients, so they changed the formulation of their beer, and it worked fine. It was all natural, but what they didn't know is after 6 months of changing over their production, if the beer sat around for 6 months, little snowflakes would form inside the bottle. And it destroyed the biggest, I think they were the biggest brewery in the country, if not the world, just because they anticipated federal regulation instead of waiting. But now, capitalism, Budweiser decided it's going to have a competitive advantage by just fessing up to whatever the ingredients are. No one reads those labels anyway. Soy is in every single bottle of salad dressing. We're all getting soyed to death. That's what Scott Adams said. Anyway, going on with Dollar General. So it's known as a bargain hunter's paradise, which gets at something that I've been saying all along. You can take all of your AI. I mean, have you ever been in a Dollar General? I think we have a Dollar Tree. I don't think it's a Dollar General. But, you walk in, you wander around. It's kind of chaotic. Things can be there one time and not another. And, it's weird. It's coming from me, that's quite a statement. Anyway, it's weird, and it's cheap. My wife keeps breaking wine glasses, the good ones, the nice ones. So I started buying dollar ones. Big, heavy wine glasses. When you're only allowed one glass of wine by your doctor, these are the ones you want. They're like big. For $1. And they're made kind of funny so that they look like they're hand blown. If she drops a couple of those, they probably won't break. Anyway, so here's what we're talking about. All the AI in the world, great. That's wonderful. But you know what you need? You need good, interesting products. Make it worth walking in the door, and good pricing. When I look at an item at Walmart, and like like a USB cable, I just got this beautiful 10-foot USB cable for $6. But you go into Best Buy and it's probably $20, and you say to yourself, something isn't adding up here. You don't need 500% markup. Anyway, let's go on. So, the scooter craze, the electric scooter craze, has been moving across America, and in San Francisco, thousands of scooters, because these companies went out, got investors, and were valued at billions of dollars. Bird and all the different companies, and Uber's got one, and Ford bought one. And so, but this is an interesting application because somebody designed a scooter for the Sabbath in Sabbath mode. You're not supposed to drive a car on the Sabbath, because I'm talking about the Jewish Sabbath for Orthodox Jews. Because when you start the car, the spark plug fires, and you're kindling a fire on the Sabbath. Now, there's some interesting rules, like you're not supposed to blow out a candle, but you can, if you open a window and the wind blows out the candle, that's okay. So you can cause indirect action. So they designed this scooter. Again, what a great country we live in. They designed this scooter so you turn the key and kind of nothing happens for a while, and then a little while, and then the thing starts up, and it just starts up in slow go mode, like Sabbath mode, and you can't hit the throttle. So you're not doing any direct action, you're just riding along on this is one of those mobility scooters, okay? So, anyway, the scooter companies, I think, took a page out of this and said, we ought to be doing scooters in Tel Aviv, and they did, and it's just been a big hit. Now, there's a couple of differences between Tel Aviv and San Francisco. In San Francisco, people would ride the scooters and then just throw them on the sidewalks, and they would be piles. They'd put thousands of scooters in without sufficient law enforcement, I think, and without sufficient morality. You take a city that's basically said, we don't care about morality for decades, and you throw free scooters into this thing that you're supposed to rent, and people, just somehow figured out how to light them up and leave them when it was supposed to work like that, but it was supposed to be part of an Uber type app and all sorts of things. So morality, capitalism requires some morality. That's my point today. We can do a lot of innovation, but we need morality. Now that brings me to my final point, the case for curiosity-driven research. This hat is just too hot. I can't wear it unless it's below zero. So this guy invented the cathode ray tube was invented, and this guy discovered the electron, the first subatomic particle, the electron, and he used to toast to the electron, may it never be of use to anybody. Okay? Only 15 years later, bashing electrons into a metal plate, you get a light, X-rays, and they could find the shrapnel in the soldiers. So this lady on TEDx, Susie, she says, we need a good dose of curiosity-based research. And I wanted to, I'm working on this jade tree, and we're having a lot of fun with it, and I can go and just pick a spot if I want to. Pick a spot. Boom. Oops, pick a spot. And I can just blast into it, and I can see what kind of variables work. And I'm going to show you a demo of this. But if you watch it, it's going to show you all the variables. Those are the variables going by, okay? And then we get an error because that's just an empty set. Anyway, I'm going to show you all that stuff. It's going to be fun. This is an innocuous place. Now I got to get my cursor out of here. Okay. But the point is that I was asked by big data companies, why is your system so elaborate? It was because I was curious. I thought, well, if we can decide who will buy and who won't buy, can we decide who, or can we try to predict who will buy big and who will buy little? That matters. And then I said, well, if we can do that, let's try and get it to predict who makes us money and who doesn't. So we made it way, way more elaborate than pretty much anybody I've ever seen. And that's why we win. So if you need curiosity-based modeling, give us a call. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Like and share. Subscribe on Periscope. That's the place to